And welcome back to The Price of Business. This is Sigmund Kramer. In studio right now with me, I've got Chris Kidd. Chris Kidd Enterprises, a longtime contributor, wonderful contributor, always bringing great guests, great insight. Chris, how are you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, minus the allergy stuff.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's so bad that the meth heads are actually trying to turn in their meth and get Sudafed again. It's that bad. Well, you always bring in a great insight into finances and to real practical, real-world ways to save money, to do the right thing with your money. And tell us a little bit about what you do, and then also introduce your guest today.
Well, what I do basically is just to help people with any kind of money issues. I say, I help people do two things: defeat debt and build wealth. So some of my clients come to me because they want to get out of debt, they want to improve their credit. Others just know that they're not handling money very well. They make enough, they're not in debt, but they spend it all. And a lot of times they just want to, create better habits and keep them on track. And then others want to learn how to become better investors and to really build something significant.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, and you do a great job of that. And a lot of the people you tend to help are in the athletics, kind of professional athletes in that world. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, it's because I come from that background. My dad was a coach, so I've been around sports my entire life, and it's just a easy fit, and it's an easy way for me to relate. I relate really well with athletes because a lot of the stuff when it comes to money and finances, especially on the investment side, is just, speaking another language to most people.
Right.
And I'm able to speak it or use examples that they can understand from where they're in, or, the world that they're in the sports arena to help them understand the finances. Yeah,
and it's important because a lot of the young, basically kids who are now given a lot of money, they don't know what to do with it. They're not disciplined. They don't have that responsible kind of sense of how to take care of their finances. Most of them don't even know how to balance a checkbook. So, so you're having to really start,
or even have a checkbook anymore.
Exactly. So, I mean, they're in a brave new world, and you're there to help lead them through it. How do people get in touch with you, real quick?
The easiest way is just go to chriskidd.com. That's CHRISKIDD.com, and they can find me there. They can contact me from there.
Excellent. Well, tell us about your guest.
My guest today is quite a man. He's got quite a rap sheet, so to speak, in the sports world. His name's John Greenberg, and he's a national sports insider. He's a sports historian, and I would say kind of a sports encyclopedia, maybe. He's written several books on different sports and stuff, and we actually had him on last year, so it's good to talk back with him. Good to have you on again, John.
Well, it's always great to be on your show, Chris, and unfortunately, I'd say I have a background rather than a rap sheet.
Yeah, that's probably not the right term, but that's the only thing that I could come up with on the spot.
Yeah, rap sheet and professional athletics can get you in trouble, right?
A rap sheet can get you in trouble in any walk of life.
Except for rappers. Isn't that interesting?
That can actually add credibility.
Okay, that's touche. But anyway, no, Chris, sports is it's a microcosm of life when you get down to it, because when you make a lot of money, I'm sure you'll agree with this, it doesn't solve your problems. It often magnifies your problems if your problems haven't been addressed in the first place.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit of how you got into the sports, I say business. Tell the audience, remind them, I guess, because it's been a while since you were on, but
well,
give us a little history.
We're talking about going back decades, and I was fascinated with the way that sports were structured, and I started to study, especially football. I really studied that, and I was very fortunate to find that people were welcoming, that they were very interested in sharing knowledge with someone who was very interested in what they had done and was asking questions. And as time went on, I thought, well, what's the point in accumulating all this information? I'm not a player, I'm not a coach. so I have to do something with it. And I started writing books. And one thing led to another, and as time goes on, the body of work keeps going. And what fascinates me most is human beings, human behavior, because humans we're essentially the same as we were thousands and thousands of years ago. The same issues are there. It's just that they're expressed in different ways. And when you get into sports started out as strictly an amateur thing. And then it became something that the very wealthy engaged in. And then the middle class and the lower rungs of the ladder, they wanted to emulate the nobility and the upper classes, so that's how professional sports started.
Wait.
And now professional sports, that's the dominant factor in broadcasting. It's the only sure product that will deliver a definite rating for certain demographics. And that's why there's so much money being poured into professional sports in this country. You look at the National Football League, their annual earnings, $9 billion. They want to go to 10. They're saying that they want to go to $25 billion within the next 5 years.
Wow. Can you imagine the ticket prices?
Oh, sure.
Or are they going to have to just build bigger stadiums and stuff, or figure something out?
But they're also high-tech stadiums. The Levi Stadium out in California, when you're sitting there and you have a tablet that's allowed to get certain information, certain input that you can't get at home on the television set, the technology is mixing with the money, and of course the ticket prices. It's getting to the point where you'll have to be very wealthy to attend those events, but they'll say, well, they'll be accessible to the public through television. So, that being said, you look at how all of this money is involved, and it seems to be making people less happy than they were when the people were not making as much, and there wasn't as much money coming in from television. So
you didn't see a lot of the guys, the really old school guys getting into the kind of trouble that you see nowadays. Of course, they didn't have Twitter and Facebook and TMZ either.
No, but on the other hand, the old ones, now they've got these massive health issues. And this is another factor of money, because you can accumulate a lot, but then if ill health hits you, it can clean you out in a hurry.
Yeah.
And this is another factor that we're talking about. We're getting into lawsuits for head injuries, and from what I was told by some old-time football players, they're not at all happy with what happened, that their claims are being denied. And these are big-name players that you used to see on Monday Night Football back in the 70s.
Well, even back then, a lot of those guys, they didn't start making the really big money until, 20, 30 years ago or so. And, I remember a guy that played for the New York Giants, Howard Cross, told us that when he was playing, a lot of guys had summer jobs or, off-season jobs.
Sure. No, I know guys that played in the 1940s and 50s, and they said that what you got out of it was maybe a new car and a good wardrobe so that you could go out and get a regular job. You know, and I don't think you saw six-figure salaries in the NFL in quantity until after the USFL came into existence, and there was some bidding wars. And as far as average players making $1 million, that's all a recent development.
Yeah, and if you don't make $1 million now, you're not making very much at all.
No.
Even though it may be $500,000, but in the world with those the superstars making
right.
20 and 30 million, it's you feel pretty broke.
But as you were saying at the beginning of the show, where is the underpinning, the underlying structure? How many kids do you see with paper routes anymore, or lemonade stands, or where do kids learn about money? You said they probably don't even have a checkbook.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a sad commentary. I don't even know if they even teach any courses in high school or about just everyday business and having a checkbook or things like that, or a credit card. And when you are thrust into sudden wealth, it can be frightening almost.
It is definitely frightening. We're going to take a break real quick, if that's okay, and come
Sure.
back and talk more with John Greenberg and Chris Kidd right here on The Price of Business. Stay tuned.